was quick. It's like barely typing it in. You did that so quickly.
I know. I'm kind of good at that, I think.
Okay.
At least I haven't fucked it up yet. So
Okay. It's really dark. You're scaring me.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. That's because I don't have any lights on here. You know, the light thing is the thing.
Oh, I didn't.
Let's see.
You can hear me fine though.
Oh yeah. Oh
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, your right here is what can I do with this? I guess I can make it bigger.
You like my outfit?
Yes, it's all what is it? St. Patty's Day-ish, right? Yeah,
it is. Go. Now this is a Christmas shirt. And to make it fit me, I actually had to cut out the arms. But I think it's a good look.
It's very good, and
it's very festive for Christmas.
No one is festive anymore. So
you're Irish, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, although I always felt like St. Patrick's Day was like the amateurs were out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Not like hardcore like the rest of us drunks.
Yes, right.
Yes. Like the real Irish drunks. Well, you know, Chicago, the way that we do things. Okay, so I'll just say anything. Like I usually I'll do like the Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace.
Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee.
All right, you still remember. Good, you get an A. Okay. It's Maureen, and is it Whalen?
Yes, Whalen.
Maureen Whalen. Welcome to the Women Are People show.
Now they are people.
They are. And the reason I'm doing this is to remind people that women are people. Now I could just say women are people, but instead I have to really over enunciate
Women are people.
Women are people show to remind everyone. Oh, I'm gonna smash these later.
Cool.
I'm gonna throw them up against a wall. I'm gonna film it. I'll add it at the end of the video.
Like so David Letterman.
Yes.
But only on a smaller scale.
Okay, I love you because you remember all the same stuff I do. Okay, do you remember when Letterman did this with Mountain Dew? He's driving in a convertible. Wait, hold on. This could get really ugly. Who's got Mentos?
Uh-oh. Oh.
He's driving in a convertible. I can't find it anywhere, and he's got Mountain Dew. And he's drinking a 2-liter. Oh, this is terrible. Water. California water. Okay, Maureen Whalen, thank you for joining the Women Are People show.
Women are people.
Now, I adore your memes, which are also known as memes. You're my favorite smarty pants. You're very funny. I don't know how to define you. Like, what would be a couple words to explain yourself?
I don't know.
Explain yourself, young lady.
Explain myself, young lady. I often wonder, I often think, is this meme me? You know, but right. Anything that I think makes me laugh, I usually steal.
Did you do professional comedy at some point?
I tried in the beginning. I was in
the womb.
It was called forensics. We like and mine was it was original comedy interpretive or something, where I talked about, and I mainly stole everything from black patent leather shoes, and it was, and stole
really reflect up.
Yeah,
play. Yeah.
Yeah, but I went all the way downstate with it.
Oh, good. Like, okay.
How come no one's saying, hey, she's plagiarizing this whole thing,
So you do the whole act, and then
I'd add other stuff,
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I don't think it would fly now. It's all I'm saying,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm suing a bunch of people for stealing my act too. So let's see. Okay, so I didn't know this about you. You used to work for Steve Dahl.
Yes, I did.
Radio
Yeah.
Steve Dahl, Chicago Steve Dahl. When I interned, I gotta say 95, 96. Do you remember when WLUP used to be, they had that talk format for a while? It was like comedy
Yes.
talk.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's my
Steve and Gary went
internship.
over there and then they broke up. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that was my internship. So I was at the Loop. So I interned for Kevin Matthews, Danny Bonaducci on Saturdays, but he was also like middays. And then it was Gary Meyer was over there. And I forgot who, they always had different people at night. It was like they had the sports guys, one of the Chicago
Bob and
Bears,
Ron.
Bob and Ron, somebody. It was Brian McCann for a while with Scott May, who was on the Ides of March. They would throw different people in at night. And so that was my internship. So that was 95, 94. I don't remember what year, but it was, remember, it was like 3 years that the Loop, WLUP, which was 97.9 in Chicago. Now it's what, a Christian rock station, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Well, they did like a comedy talk format. And that was my introduction to radio. And so I was in where the Loop was, and then you had Rock 103.5, which was like the rocks, or maybe it was it called Rock 103.5, or was it called
Maybe it was called The Blaze.
The Blaze?
Maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you had ESPN.
It was like the heavy metal one, right?
Right.
That was like,
and then you had
like,
Steve Dahl and Bruce Wolf at the ESPN at the other end of the hall. So because I was going to school, I was working a full-time job as a secretary or a administrative assistant. I would like write checks all day, like big checks for real estate and stuff. I did that all day. Then I would go to school 3 nights a week. And then I also worked at Blockbuster for a while.
Wow.
And I was interning as much as I could. So whenever I could be there, I would be there. And so I'd be running late almost every morning that I'd come in. And I would take the elevator up with Steve Dahl. And these were his drinking years. Because when I asked him about it once years later, he was like, yeah, see, I was drinking back then. I don't know. So I was like, okay. He's like, did I say anything like, I was like, no, you were actually really nice to me. You were never like a jerk. And we would chit chat up the elevator, but like, that's the most exposure I ever had to him. And then years and years later, when I worked at WLS, he was in the hall when we moved over to the NBC towers. Where I sat, there was a window, and the way the studios, it was like a corner section of the building. And so I would just look through and I would look at him. And then to aggravate everybody over in the studio over there at the LSAM, I would take my phone, because you could make whatever's on YouTube show up on the TVs. Do you know what I'm saying? You could send it. And so I would be like, right. I would be like, like monkey wiping its butt. And then I would cast it into their, and they're like, what? Like day after day, they're like, who's doing this? And it was me, because I could do it through the window. So that was fun. So tell me what you did with Steve Dahl. Were you a producer? Were you co-host? What did you do?
I actually worked for Dave McBride.
Oh, okay.
When Dave McBride
I love
did
Dave
his,
McBride.
And it was a really good learning experience, although I didn't do much of anything. I got him news, but I mean, he's obviously equipped to get it himself. You know what I mean? Like you said, the intern, sometimes it's just like you're there in
rearranging, putting in toner.
Sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not so lucky,
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a bunch of times where Steve called me on air, and I didn't have a cell phone then. I mean, I wasn't one of these rich people, so I didn't have a cell phone, so I didn't know. And I'd like get home and people would be like, he was trying to reach you all day, and I'd be like, what?
Oh yes, because he'd like to make fun of people on the air.
Yeah.
Or utilize anyone around him. That's another thing. So even though I was interning for the Loop, I was an eager beaver. I was like, what could I do? How could I help? I jump, with a big stupid smile on my face like a dummy.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And Steve Dahl would make fun of me, and I could hear him in the hall, and he would essentially write me off as like a complete ditz. but it didn't hurt my feelings because to me, I was like, oh, the legendary
Dahl.
Steve Dahl is making
Yeah.
fun of me. I felt like it was an honor, and really, it's theater of the mind.
Yeah.
So, and I know who I am and I know who I'm not. So I didn't mind. But yeah, I remember that. And so that was kind of like a thrill because it's my first couple years into radio and I'm being made fun of by, Steve.
Dahl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was super cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So it's fun. Now you interviewed Walter Payton?
I interviewed Walter Payton. Well, a lot of the people that I interviewed for Steve Dahl were people like it was based on my get up and go ness. Like I wanted more of the shot on his show, so I put myself in. I knew where Walter Payton was going to be shot, like he was doing an appearance at this like a
Restaurant?
no, it was like a Rolling Stone, but it wasn't a Rolling Stone. It was in Schaumburg. But anyways, he was doing an appearance there for some book or some video he'd made, and I had asked his people if I could, ask him just 10 questions beforehand. And so when I got there, he said, "Yeah, I'll answer whatever you want, but you've got to go shopping with me."
Oh, very cool. You got to go shopping with Walter Payton.
With Walter Payton.
Sweetness. Okay.
I mean, how cool is that? Right?
Before you tell me everything, do you remember the Super Bowl shuffle?
Yes.
Okay, sing it with me. My name's Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like a fucking romance. We got the something since training camp. Something, the Super Bowl champs. And so the Bears aren't doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it
to feed the needy.
That's right. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to see the Super Bowl shuffle. Very good. Very good. I'm glad that we could recreate that. I haven't sang that song in years. So, okay, so you go grocery shopping. Grocery shopping with Walter Payton?
We went shopping for music because he was having a Christmas party that night or something.
Oh.
So walked around and, picked out music. And he was
at like coconuts or peaches or like Rolling Stone records.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you were rolling. It's like, what are you talking about, Rolling Stone? It's a magazine.
Like the one that was
the records. Yes.
At Harlem and Irving Plaza, but it wasn't. It was
the other one.
Hamburg. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was
what
nice.
Did he pick? Nice. I'm interested.
He was nice. He was he was super professional. I was not super professional, but I was, like you said, eager and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'm sure, like, if you were Steve Dahl in the business, you'd probably be like, oh yeah, look at this goof, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
No, I love stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that. I was sent out, who was it? He's like the drummer for John Cougar Mellencamp or something. I was sent out at 6:00 in the morning to find chili dogs because this is the guy who wrote "Sucking on Chili Dog Outside the Taste Free." So they take little JoAnn the intern at 6:00 in the morning. They throw me $40 and they say, "Go find chili dogs." At 6:00 in the morning, none of the hot dog places are open. None of them are open until like 11 when the show's over. And they're like, "You better get them." So I'm like up and down all of Michigan Avenue, this place, Chestnut Street, everywhere, trying to find, Gold Coast Dogs isn't open at 6:30 in the morning. So finally, I just went over to 7-Eleven and I got some Oscar Mayer and I got some chili in a can and I got some bread and I pocketed the change and I went in there and I went, "Here, there you go, a-holes." And they didn't like that. But how was I forgot who he was. He was like the drummer from John Cougar Mellencamp. I don't know. I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. It's that they sent an intern out at 6:30 in the morning to go get chili dogs.
Yeah,
silly stuff like that.
I'm glad in a way that I was on the tail end of that because I think all the sexist
the abuse stories.
Yes, would have driven me crazy.
I felt honored to do it though. I didn't find it like insulting.
Oh yeah, no, I did too. But I had to learn board in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. I'd never worked there before, but I was working like an overnight there, and I'd worked at another station of theirs, so I just thought it was going to be similar, and it wasn't. And the only guy who was able to give me directions was their program director, who happened to be blind, but he
Oh,
knew exactly what he was talking about.
yeah.
He like, I thought, oh
What
my
was
God,
his name? I swear I
um,
know who you're talking about.
yeah, you probably do.
Did he work in Chicago
Tim,
for a while?
he worked in Pleasant Prairie, which is, the Chicago market kind of. Uh, yeah, he worked on their country. What was it?
I think he worked at 93.9 with me for a while.
Yeah, Tim Kazminski or
He's
something like that.
something like that. I worked with him too. Wow, that's like a
Yeah,
mind. Yeah, and he
yeah,
has a dog, right? He had a dog with him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I totally worked with him. He's actually very good on the air, and he and I
oh, he's
started up a
excellent.
conversation, and we were like,
Yep.
"Why aren't we a morning show?" Like we just
Yeah.
hit it off like that. Very good. Wow, thank you for reminding me of that. So damn, I'm working through the bitterness. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can make this work. You can see this screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see that?
Okay, it says JoAnn Genette has started screen. Now it says, which Don Knotts is hotter?
That's right. Now, which of
Well,
these three Don Knotts do you think is the hottest?
the one where he's got a cigarette.
Andy
Is that,
Griffith show?
yeah, the Andy Griffith show.
Okay, not Mr. Furley.
No, Mr. Furley, he's got a really bad rug. I mean, is it
See,
just
and I
me?
don't
Or,
mind that as much. But yeah, no, you're right. See, out of the three, I think I would have picked Mr. Limpet, Incredible Mr. Limpet.
I
Just because
mean,
I talk to cartoon characters too and fish.
I I
So
don't think Don Knotts is hot per se, but I did like him a lot as Mr. Lippet, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay. Now, what's the next one? Oh, which was your favorite sweat hog?
You know,
Do you
I
see
like
them?
yeah, I liked Barbarino, but I also liked um but the Lawrence
There's Horshack, Barbarino, Boom Boom, Freddie Boom Boom Washington,
Freddie
and
Boom Boom
Juan
Washington.
and Juan Epstein with Mr. Kate.
Mr. Katz, yeah.
I liked them all. But probably Horshack the best. Okay, who's hotter? John Quincy Adams, the president, or I put Mr. Pottery. It's actually Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life, but apparently when I was typing, I put in Mr. Pottery. Which
I
one do
think
you like?
I think John Quincy Adams is hotter, but I do love Mr. Potter in that movie.
He's a son of a something for
He's
sure.
he's a really bad guy,
He
but he's
is.
he's really good at it. You
He's
know,
very good at being a bad guy, but I would
he's
feel
campy.
financially secure with him. So that's
Yeah.
why. Okay, we did that. We did that. We did that. Okay, which is your favorite Cool Hand Luke product?
Okay. I like the Newman with the marinara.
Marinara. There's Saccaroni. Right, there's lots of them. I like the pineapple salsa,
Oh yeah,
and I actually have some for real. That's my favorite salsa. I like pineapples a lot, though. You put pineapple in anything, I'll eat it. Well, not anything, but just about. Like I like it on pizza. I like it in. So, but I like it in the salsa. And then um I feel like see where he looks like the Music Man and he's got the Italian recipe. That's
yeah,
pretty good too. That's
yeah.
that's a pretty good one too. All right. Okay. Who wears the hat better? Oscar Wilde, Tom Baker as Doctor Who, or Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb?
Tom Baker.
Right? He's
Although
the
Oscar
only
Wilde does
doctor. I don't watch any other doctor.
I I've seen a couple of the other doctors, but but look at how cool Oscar Wilde looks, though, too. I mean,
I
like
he
it's
does.
like you know,
I was reading about him like last week. I don't know why. I just came across because he does this a lot. he's very posy. He's a he's a
Yeah.
fancy dancy kind of guy. He's
Yeah.
always posing. So and Perry the platypus from Phineas and Ferb, he wears a hat pretty well. But I agree. Tom Baker all the way. Probably one of my first. Well, I have a lot of like celebrity crushes, but like Tom Baker was one. Did you watch it on did you watch Doctor Who on Channel 11 on Sundays, or did you watch it like during
Channel
the week?
11 Sundays.
Yeah, me too. Along with like Dave Allen at Large and Monty
Dave Allen at
Python,
Large.
and yeah. I love Dave Allen at Large. I love that so much. Okay. Which one of these guys would you take with you to IKEA? Benjamin
Okay.
Harrison, he's America's least remembered president.
Okay.
This random ostrich, or this comedian guy, I don't know his name. I think it's like Ben or Brad. But anyway, he never wears a shirt. That's like his shtick, is he just doesn't wear a shirt.
I think Benjamin Harrison would, he'd kind of know his way around in IKEA, maybe. I don't know, or the
Would
the
he though?
service guy.
Because it's 1891. Would he know his way around an IKEA? If I don't know when he was president, I
Benjamin
have no
Harrison
idea.
looks
But
like he's like a
now I have to
whole-
look up when he was president. Hold on. Go on. Just talk about anything.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes. Benjamin.
He does look like he looks like he barely has any teeth.
It's 1833. Oh, that's not what. No, he's 1889. Oh, I wasn't too far off. 1889. Where I got to get back to my picture. Yes, 1889. He's gonna go around IKEA with you. Okay, that's good. All right, what else do we have? Who wore it better, Kanye. Or this lady? Yeah, I kind of do like Kanye. He's a bit much, but I do like him. I remember seeing him on some MTV awards that they did in Las Vegas, but they did it. It wasn't like regular on a stage. They did it in the halls of it was the weirdest MTV awards I had ever seen. And so they throw him in a hallway with a camera guy, and everybody's like at the bar, but they're just sitting at the bar. So he's like so he has to perform to people just standing around, which can be really uncomfortable. At least when you have like a stage set up, the audience knows their place. Whoever's on stage knows their place. This was just a very weird vibe. Like he was in an elevator or something. What?
Did you see the Grammys? It was like all the Grammy performances were like the Haim sisters.
Yeah. Haim. Yeah.
Yeah, Haim, Lahaim. I don't know. They're.
So, you're in Chicago. Is it getting any warmer? Is it finally warm?
It was warm for a little bit. And now
Okay.
it's I think here. I don't want to. And now it's 38.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, it could be cooler. That's the thing, though. Since the older I get, the more sore I am when I wake up. So I want to go somewhere warm. But now, California, I can't even think about it. It's too, it's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, it's too rich for my blood too. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm getting kind of bitter, and I never used to be that way. And it's the pandemic, and it's also that I don't get to do. I'm not working in something creative that's making me like think, or because my brain works super quickly. But I'm trying to like get over my bitterness. I'm saying prayers. I'm trying to ground myself. I'm trying to meditate. One of the things, because it does no one any good to be bitter and like nasty and angry, and but a lot of it has to do with the pandemic. And also I moved over here because they have the amusement park right down the street. And when I first moved here, I was going there constantly. I haven't been on a roller coaster in over a year. This is like the longest in my life I've ever gone and not rode.
You're in Van Nuys? You're in Van Nuys?
No, I'm in Santa Clarita. So we're out by Magic Mountain, which is the Six Flags out here.
Okay, so did they film the Brooke, or what's her name? Drew Barrymore? Remember she had that Santa Clarita, where
Santa Clarita Diet. Yes. Actually, that's one of the things I went, I'll check this place out. The reason why I moved here is because it had been brought up that the family might move to California, it might move to Los Angeles area. So I went over and in Google I put where's what is an awesome place to live near Los Angeles. And someone did a marketing campaign, I don't know, like 10 years ago, calling Santa Clarita Awesome Town, or Valencia, the area where I am, Awesome Town, as a joke. But I went,
That's so cool
you
though.
know what? It's they're saying it's Awesome Town, so I'll go for it. And actually this, and I did all this research, the schools, everything that we had come here for is it died or it just collapsed. So that has been hard to, I'm trying not to, I'm like
Yeah.
trying not to hold on to stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
like I'm very aware. If anyone knows that life doesn't work out like you plan, it's me. But it's just like I can't count on anything. And so then that gets me bitter and it gets me like jaded and it gets me angry. And so and then like I'm delivering food. And like if you go out if America could truly see some of these homes in Santa Barbara, these aren't first homes. These are second and third and fourth homes. That's the problem. If you could see the disgusting amount of wealth, I don't think that people would support the entertainment industry as much as they do, or pop culture, which by the way, I don't think that they are supporting it as much. Most of the people I'm talking to is going, I'm done. Like, I don't even want to, I don't care what these people have to say. I'm not giving them any more attention. And like the tabloids, the tabloid papers, excuse me. I was in Walgreens and I asked the lady at the checkout, I said, I'm like, for 30 years of my life, George Clooney. I don't want to know anything about George Clooney. I don't care about George Clooney. She's like, yeah, nobody buys those anymore. She's like, but what they do is they send in sales reps to buy them. So it gives the appearance that the sales numbers are up. But most people don't like, for how many more days of my life am I being forced to care about Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's breakup? Like, I don't care about that. But I read a study like 8 years ago that said if magazine publishers found if you put Jennifer Aniston on a cover, it would sell more copies. But that was like 8 years ago. And so they're still doing it. And it's even when I like program my phone not to follow it or I don't watch it, it's like I'm assaulted everywhere I go. It's like, you have to care about Jen and Brad Pitt. And I'm like, but Jen and Brad don't even care about them anymore, So it's just like I've
Well,
had it.
it's
So,
like that the tot mom with the you know the Nancy Grace called this.
oh,
I forget what the hell the lady's name is. I didn't want any of her news. I didn't like
the
having all
shamey
the
lady, the lady who
yeah.
screams and shames everybody for
Well,
not being good parents, her.
the girl who killed her daughter, the one,
Oh,
the tot killer or whatever
no.
Nancy Grace called her. But I put in my phone, don't give me, and it came twice as much
I
because
know. The minute you
I
mention
was,
it in any form,
yes,
that's
you
what it
can't.
does. I know.
Yeah,
I don't know who's the new host of Jeopardy, even though I don't watch that either. But it's like don't
actually,
care, don't care,
uh,
don't care.
what's her name? Katie Couric has been the host of Jeopardy, and she's done pretty well.
Has she? Okay,
So,
well, good.
yeah,
At least a woman's getting it, so that's
yeah,
good.
that's what I thought too. Yeah,
Finally.
that's exactly what I thought.
Any
It's
words of wisdom
words of
to give the
wisdom.
world?
Oh
Maureen
wow.
splaining.
Well, I just think we should all just find find a lot more funny, right?
Yes, I love your memes. I think they're so good. I love clicking. Yes, you just make me crack up every day. And also, I just learned that you were dressed as Steve Martin for Halloween. Which Halloween?
I was. Where was I
I don't
dressed
know.
as?
Something says you were dressed as Steve Martin for Halloween.
Get out.
You don't remember.
I don't
You were
remember.
high. It's okay. You were high that
Well,
day.
yeah, well, that's a lot of my life. Um, and Steve Martin. I mean, there's people of a certain age where that would they would remember when Steve Martin was
Wild and crazy guy.
yes, and
Yes, I do.
only a few people understood the true Steve Martin.
So tell me about your edibles. Do you bake
Oh my
them or what do you
edibles.
do?
Lately I've been making like little you know, gummy candies, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
and I thought it would be really scary. I thought, oh, they'll taste like shit and they'll come out crappy, and they're the easiest thing to do. They're really easy. Um, and sometimes gummies are too easy though, because then you'll be like,
I wouldn't
oh,
even know how to
oh,
make
I'm
that.
really
Yeah.
stoned. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on the Women Are People show. I can kind of see your eyeball. Show me your eyeball.
My eyeball.
Yes, I can't see your eyeball. You're just very
Hold on, let's see if I can.
also in this. I'm just gonna in between all of this. I'm gonna flash memes or memes, as I like to call them, up there because Maureen has been in the shadows of the darkness. Are you
Yeah,
the shadow people? Are you with the shadow people?
I'm. What's that song? Woman in the shadows of love. I.
I
Sorry, I'm
feel
not a good
high
singer.
just talking to you. Is that possible? That I'm not like I'm total like I've been drinking water and coffee all day, but
That's
just talking
possible.
to you makes me feel high.
I love the picture behind you is so great. The
Well, thank
girls,
you. It's a postcard that I turned into. There's actually two. Hold on. It's a not a triptych, not a triptych. What do you call that? You have like two or three. I'll show you.
oh, how cool. Oh, how cool. The coolest ones I have are just bulldogs, and I've got a couple of, like, where's the one? I don't know, but I'll have to grab them sometime. But yeah, um, those are very cool.
I
So
actually
what do
just
you?
lost a bunch of weight. I'm back down to a size 8. So I'm all over this whole pandemic. My weight has been all over the place. But yeah, those
Oh,
are
I
two
know.
pictures back there. So top of the morning to you. Okay, so you got any jokes? Or should I
No.
just eat snowballs? How about puns? How about a song?
Oh, how about there's something about
Mary.
patio furniture, but I don't remember. It's something that comes
You
out in
sing Danny
spring.
Boy.
Uh, badly, but What do you got? Oh, you've got the little things. Yeah, do it, do it, do it.
What should I do? I should just throw it at the wall?
Well, let's see. The inside it looks like
Let's find out.
let's see what it
I don't
looks
know. I
like
got these at
inside.
the Dollar Tree.
Wow.
Oh, that's heavy. I didn't think this through.
What's the yellow thing? That's gross. Do you see the yellow? It's like green and then yellow. Puh.
It's okay. It's like a hat.
Oh, okay. Like
Okay, it's some sort of fondant, I guess, or something. Okay, so
oh,
that's what makes it a ball.
oh,
Do you see?
yeah.
It's the
Yeah, that I don't think I'd want that going in my stomach. Oh, there you go. Does it taste like, like pasty kind of crap? Yeah. That's the thing. There
in the
there's
middle part. Hmm.
there's a lot of sugar that's shitty though. You know what I mean?
I'm totally. Shouldn't I have? I feel like I should have a dragon. I feel like there should be a dragon next to me.
BJ Dirty Dragon, remember that? Remember?
Oh, from Giggle Snort Hotel. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, I'm gonna go because I need to get a drink, but we gotta do this again because I enjoyed this
We
a
will,
lot.
and next time I'll be high.
Yeah, next time we'll get high beforehand.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Top of the
Thank you.
morning to the whatever. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
I bought him soda and now he's complimenting me. Go on. More about how I'm a cougar and I have nice thighs.
And I'd like to help you hit a shatter
Pretty-
climax one day.
What?
Probably
Wow, I don't even have any makeup on. I'm like a mess right now and I smell like an ashtray, but he's wonderful.
$3 is 9 inches.
He's okay. You. Thank you, love. Thank you. I will take the compliment where I can get it. See, it's like a